So, hello there. Sorry I've been away for like a week, but I have been really busy. I just handed all my assignments, so I'm finally done for holidays and I'm free. Yes! Done for a semester of second year. Anyways, so this will be a 3-in-1 video with a little talk about the Mumps at the end because isn't that fun? So, the first game, the Penguins lose in overtime to the New York Rangers, but after a great effort, they score 2 goals to tie the game, force overtime, lose in overtime, which is unfortunate, but it was a great way to get back in the game. It was a great effort. And, it showed a good character win, as they like to say. And it felt like a good character loss. It felt like a win. Crosby looked better. Malkin was a beast again. He's tearing it up now. Dumoulin looked real solid in his NHL debut. We're now again with Olli Määttä as he is hurt and is seeking a second opinion on his shoulder, which he might have to get surgically repaired, which would probably mean he's out for the year. The same shoulder he hurt last year, so that's not good at all. But Dumoulin, not his NHL debut, but his season debut, he looked real solid. He had a strong game. Sorry, that was against Ottawa. Dumoulin had a rough game against the Rangers. He was a bit beat on quite a few of the goals. He tried to poke the puck away with his skate instead of using it getting it with his stick. And it did not dispel the notion he's an NHL player because of course he is. And I thought it was just a little rough patch for him. But as Bertuzzo's working his way back from a suspension, which he would return for the next game against Calgary, so Dumoulin would sit, and Bertuzzo would come back into the lineup. Dumoulin would continue to play because Olli Määttä's hurt. Anyways, I don't remember. But anyways, he bounced back much better in the next game. They beat Calgary 3-1. Letang came back, and he had a strong game. He was phenomenal. Gino Malkin was also phenomenal. He basically is doing it all himself right now because Crosby missed the last 2 games because he missed practice on Thursday because he was sick. He came to the morning skate on Friday against Calgary. He had a very big swollen gland, which the doctor said were not mumps because he had been tested for the mumps twice, tested negative. He was going to play that night and then they held him out as a precaution. He was later tested and oh, wouldn't you know, he has the mumps. And the best part about that is that he is now past his infectious stage, which means that everyone around him was exposed to his contagious mumps. So the Penguins really messed that up. I mean, super bad. Now, Bennett has mumps symptoms. He went to a children's hospital, and he probably got these kids that are sick, even more sick with the mumps. This whole thing is ridiculous, and Paul Martin did a great troll job at practice today. He wore a surgical mask on his face. I thought that was hilarious. The funniest part about all this, too, is that Crosby had a vaccination for the mumps less than a year ago before he went to the Olympics, along with Perry and Suter. They got the mumps. They also tested all the whole team and staff for mumps immunity. He was one of the highest immune to the mumps. Players who were less immune to it got the vaccine. He was one of the highest immune to the mumps. Still got the mumps. They're sterilizing the change room, and it's hilarious. Anyways, so he's out, which is not good. So it's basically Malkin and his merry men right now. Magna had a really rough game against Calgary. He got 4 penalties, which was not good. So he was sent down, which I thought was a little bit harsh because even though he had 4 penalties, doesn't mean he should be sent down. He's a great player, lots of young talent. They called up Rust again, which, that's fine. That's interesting. I don't think he's probably as offensive as Magna. Magna's faster, but Rust is younger. And then they called up Bobby Farnham because Zach Sill got hurt against Calgary, so they called the Farm for the Columbus game along with Rust because for some reason they have to have that grit and that tenacity and that face-punching Corsi ability in their lineup. Why? You could have a guy like Magna, and you could also have a guy like Russ, two skilled guys. Instead, you call Farnham, and then your lines for tonight's game against Tampa include Farnham on the third line with Adams, and I don't even know who else. Spalling, you call that a third line? That's atrocious. And then you have Klinkhammer, who's a solid player, on the fourth line with Ebbett and Russ. Like, that should be your third line. Why is that your fourth line? The fact that Farnham is even in your lineup is a joke. It shows the lack of drafting from a forward standpoint by, not mainly by Ray Shero, but by his scouts, because his scouts are the ones who tell him who to draft. By the scouts, who they all probably should have been fired. I don't know why they're still around. They've done a great job of drafting D-men, but their lack of drafting forwards is really starting to show through. But they didn't have to call up Bobby Farnham. This organization has this weird obsession with players who they think can play, who are grinders, who can't play. Farnham played 5 minutes and spent 5 in the penalty box. That's a waste of a roster spot. Why would you call up a guy like that? Just because Magna had a rough game with 4 penalties doesn't mean it'll happen again. Like, I don't understand some of these decisions. I've been really happy with what MJ's done so far. That's Mike Johnston. And Jimmy R, for the most part, has been pretty good. But that's just a mind-boggling to me. Anyway, so they beat Calgary. It's a great game. Letang looks fantastic. Letang running again. He's now had 2-game scoring streak. He has 3 goals in 2 games. A goal in 3 straight games because I think he scored, I guess, before he got hurt. He is now 8th in the league in D-men in scoring, despite playing like 4 less games than everyone else, 5 less games. He's only played 24 games. He was fantastic against Columbus. He got a fake hat trick. He scored a beautiful shorthanded goal on a 2-on-1 rush with Craig Adams, and just the ability to backhand that play, that was Crosby-like, and there's not many D-men in the league who can do that. So great on him. Then a great pass from Gino, ties it up with 10 seconds left. He scores the only goal in the shootout. It was a beautiful goal, and the Penguins lose in a shootout, but it was another great effort against a Columbus team who's suddenly hot and has less injuries than the Penguins right now as they're making their annual trip to the IR. And I'm not really surprised because the Penguins have no players. And tonight we're playing Tampa Bay. Steven Stamkos, they're playing their 3rd overall draft pick on the 4th line. They're scratching him because their team is so deep. We have guys like Farnham and Adams playing our 3rd line, and our 4th line is full of basically 2 AHL players and Rob Klinkhammer, who's pretty solid. We have Sutter as our first line center. Like, the lack of depth on forward is it's bad. It's better than last year, yes. That Como's been a great signing. Klinkhammer is a nice pickup. But again, it's drafting. And then it's decisions on who to call up from forward. Like, it's basically all Malkin and Letang getting it done right now. Letang looks fantastic. He looks like a Norris Trophy caliber defenseman, in my opinion. There aren't many better D-men in the league than him right now. And he could get a Norris Trophy nomination if he continues to keep this up. He'll definitely get a Masterton Trophy nomination. I mean, after all he's been through last year with the stroke, no one thought he would play again, and he's come back and he's been absolutely on fire. Oh, I love Letang when he's like this. He's so good. It's just amazing to watch. Malkin, again, amazing to watch. 2nd in the league in points. Sagan is 1st, but he's producing at a ridiculous pace, and there's no way he's going to keep this up. He's not getting 65 goals. There's just no way. Gino's probably best in the league right now. Crosby should be back soon, as he's now past his infection stage with mumps. Bennett now has the mumps, which I think is hilarious, and he's already hurt anyways. So I wonder when he's getting back. But the Pens have also called up Scott Harrington, although he won't be getting the call tonight. In light to Robert Bertuzzi's injury, Dumoulin will go back in the lineup, which I think is a good decision. Although it would be nice to see Scott Harrington play game, because I'm not really high on Robert Bertuzzi, and I think Dumoulin and Harrington are both better than him. And since sitting Scuderi would be nice, but of course you can't have $4 million sitting in the press box. No. Thank you, Ray Shero. Thank you. So that's all for this video. Should be a good game tonight. Malkin usually lights up Tampa, so it should be another fun game. Oh, and Thomas Vokoun, ex-Penguins goalie Thomas Vokoun, has now retired. He's given us some great moments. He was great for us in the playoffs in 2013 when Fleury the bed. Vokoun was great for us. He had a great career. He was excellent numbers, and he's just not on very good teams. He should have won a Stanley Cup, but he was not on very good teams. And yeah, he's a great young Chuck hockey. So thank you, Thomas, for what you gave us as Penguins, even though it was not a lot. But I remember watching you in Florida and in Nashville and how good he was there. So please like if you like this video, subscribe if you really like it, tell all your friends, share with everyone, post in the comments below what you think of the Penguins and the Mumpty Mumps so far, the Mumps, how the Penguins handle the situation, what do you think of Edmonton, how that debacle is going, and I'll see you after the game tonight. Alright, bye!